evening, everybody. I hope you're all extremely well. Welcome to the House of Henry, by kind permission of the mistress of the house, who is sitting over there looking at me with the usual kind of expression of semi-disdain, semi-love. She says it's love. I think it varies between the two. Now, we are going to do a few different things this evening. I'll talk you through them as they happen, not very different from your perspective, but a little bit technically challenging for us here. My cousin Alison asked me the other day, and very validly, why in springtime am I wearing a beanie hat on my head? There are two reasons for wearing a beanie hat on my head. The first reason is that I am well bald, and that means that the lights above me will reflect off and probably blind you, so hairless is the top of my head. The second reason is that I have got some ear monitors in my ear, and they come out if I don't have something holding them in. I think I have a very odd-shaped ear. Anyway, so that's why I've got a beanie hat on. Now, I think we shall get on to the first song. I thank you all for being with us. The first song is called The Fire. Now, unsurprisingly, I wrote this song after a fire at Londolozi, and it's tremendously exciting fighting a bushfire in South Africa in the Lowveld. It can be relatively dangerous, but it's nothing like as dangerous as, say, the fires that are raging in California right now, because it's all in the grass. It doesn't really get into the trees hugely. Can be dangerous, you've got to be careful, but for me it's really exciting. And we just fought a fire until late at night, probably around, I don't know, say 10 o'clock we'd been fighting. Had to go out again at 4 the next morning to make sure everything was out. And after that, this little song came to me, and surprisingly titled The Fire. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it has any particular meaning other than the excitement of fighting a fire in the bush and just being in the bush. So here we go with The Fire. I also must just tell you that this is as loud as we can make it, so if you're struggling to hear, pop some earphones in.
I was very happy with the audio.
Oh, is it better?
Yeah.
Oh, good. My wife says it's better. Fantastic. I'm still trying to convince her to put a microphone on, but she's thus far refused. Where were you in the dead moon? Where when a million stars were shining on a dim and willful night? And where were you in the dust of the day, where if not in the taste of the wind that blows those dry sweet days? 'Cause I can feel a fire and it's burning from my soul, I can feel a fire and it's screaming in the cold. And I can see a fire and it's crying in your eyes. I can see a fire calling, pulling me inside. And I call to you, my friend, and I call to you, my love. Hey, hey. And were you there at the beginning? Were you there in the lingering somewhere? Did you feel me in you? And were you waiting in the whisper? And were you listening to the time as the years chased us here? 'Cause I can feel a fire and it's burning from my soul. I can feel a fire and it's screaming in the cold. I can see a fire and it's crying in your eyes. I can see a fire calling, pulling me inside. And I call to you, my friend. Yes, I call to you, my love. Hey, hey. And where were you when the fires burned? Where when the rains refused us life? Did you feel the dryness in your throat? And where were you when the rivers flowed? Where when they sang the song of days? Did you feel me in you? 'Cause I can feel a fire and it's burning in my soul. I can feel a fire and it's screaming in the cold. I can feel a fire and it's crying in your eyes. I can feel a fire burning, pulling me inside. And I call to you, my friend. Yes, I call to you, my love. Hey, hey.
That song was fire.
Was that song fire? My wife says the song was fire.
Millennial speak.
I will now take a moment to thank Badger and Mountain for what I'm about to drink. The Cape Blend from Badger and Mountain. Right, any questions so far?
Let's wait, everyone's just giving you lots of
Everyone is clapping. Well, that's very nice of everyone to do the clapping thing. I will try and remember what the next song is going to be. What is the next song going to be? It's not that one. It's not that one. Oh, I remember now.
We're still waiting, still catching up.
We're still catching up.
I was just going wild.
Were the levels right?
Everyone said yes. They loved that, and the audio is marvelous.
Okay, good. All right. The next song. If a question comes, you're welcome to feed it to me. This song is a David Matthews song, and it's one of my very favourite David Matthews songs. And it always reminds me of how important it is to work with people. That's not a particularly profound thing to say, because everybody with half a brain knows that. But I studied guitar for a long time, and then a friend of mine and I created this band at university, which I have mentioned a few times before. And nobody taught him to play the guitar, he taught himself how to play the guitar, as did most of the great guitar players of the world, actually. And he taught me how to play this particular Dave Matthews song, certainly the first part of it. And we've always enjoyed playing it together. His name's Donald Gibson, by the way. And it's called Lie in Our Graves. I have absolutely no clue what it's about. I don't know why you would talk about lying in graves, but that's the song.
Zoe wants to know, what are your favourite classical guitarists?
Oh, my favourite classical guitarists, Zoe, would be Julian Bream, the late Julian Bream, and John Williams. Not very original selection. I've listened to a lot of younger guitarists, and I can't say that I've heard any of them create a tone that Julian Bream created. I just love the tone that he, it's obviously very subjective. I love the tone that he produced. And I think that Williams's technical ability is just, I mean, it's unrivaled. I'm sure there are lots of great younger classical guitarists out there. There are, I mean, I've watched a lot of them, but I still think that those two are my favourite, Bream and Williams. So anybody who knows anything about classical guitar will know them, but there's a reason that anybody knows them. Thank you for that lovely question. Now, this next song, we are going to make use of a loop pedal for this song. Now, my wife's looking very afraid. I think she probably should. It means that halfway through the song, I will engage the loop pedal, and with any luck, it will record what I'm playing, and then I will be able to solo on top of that, if everything works according to my plans and my practice. So, here we go. Lie in Our Graves, Dave Matthews. Widely, yes, I step into the light, my arms open widely. Would you not like to be sitting on top of the world with your legs hanging free? Would you not like to be okay, 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 walking by the water, splash, you and me taking a bath. Yes, I'm walking by the water, runs up to my toes, to my ankles, to my feet, and to my soul. I'm blown away. Taking a bath. Yes, I'm standing by the water, runs up to my toes, to my ankles, to my feet, and to my soul. I'm blown away. would lie in our graves, thinking about things we might have been. I can't believe that we would lie in our graves, thinking about things we might have been, we could have been, we should have been. Would you not like to be? I can't believe that you would not like to be. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. That was lie in our graves. Matthews.
I was just telling everyone I was trying to have a nap today and the song was on repeat.
Yes, she was trying to have a nap today. This is because she had a headache today. She had a headache today. Why did you have a headache today?
Just concentration.
Shall say no more, for fear of getting myself into a lot of trouble.
You mustn't knock my orchid, please.
Oh, your orchid.
Question.
Yes,
L.
yes,
Other than me,
yes.
who is your favorite wild earther to rock out with?
Other than you,
Yeah.
who is my favorite wild earther to rock out with?
Yeah. Bebop, I think.
Yes, exactly. Brian Joubert would be my favorite wild earther to rock out with. He is a remarkable beatboxer. I tried to get others to play instruments. Jamie plays the flute, but she didn't want to ever play with me.
No one else wants to play with you.
No one else wanted to play with me, no.
Liam?
VM didn't want to play with me, no. VM's not very musical.
How's that flute?
Oh, he made his trumpet. He could do the mouth trumpet.
And Louise is a rapper.
Is she?
Remember that song?
Yes, I do. Apparently Louise is also a rapper. Anyway, Brian Joubert. There you go. Right, the next song. The next song is, well, I don't know how it's going to go down, actually. It's a song that I used to perform with my great friend Duncan McClarty in the Bomas of Londolozie, and I must just tell you that it started out as me just singing the song, and then he came to me one day and he said, "Would you mind if I joined you?" So I said, "No. Do you want to play the guitar, trumpet, flute, tuba, Caesar horn?" No, he said, "I will sing with you." So I said, "All right, can you sing?" And he said, "Well, no, not really, but I know all the words, and I think it would be quite funny." So I don't normally like to have someone join me when I have planned something out. Anyway, I said, "Yes, you can join me." And we sat down on a bench. It was under a pergola strung with some kind of indigenous jasmine, lovely summer's evening, and I started playing the song. And Duncan joined in. He said, "Don't worry about me, I'll just join in where I feel I should." And it took about 4.5 minutes to complete, maybe less, maybe 3.5 minutes to complete, and there was rapturous applause afterwards. And slowly we'd do it every night, but we'd add a little bit each time. And instead of it being a 3.5 minute song, 2 years later, it took about 15 minutes to get through because it was done with all sorts of embellishments, running around the boma, out of the boma, up onto the wall, back into the boma, around about, diving on the floor, diving up off the floor. There was a lengthy introduction to the whole thing, even longer than the one that I'm giving you right now. And I would say that about 50% of the guests thought it was really good, and I'd say about 50% had absolutely no cotton-picking clue what was going on or why it is that they were being subjected to these two idiots on their exclusive luxury safari. We didn't care. We loved performing it. The song is in Afrikaans, which means that some of you are not going to understand it. So, for your edification and education, I will provide you with a translation of some of the words. It's a love song. Nes a bicycle sonder sy klokkie, like a bicycle without its bell. Nes a lollipop sonder sy stokkie, like a lollipop, without its stick. Dis 'n hoenderhaan met sy kop afgekap, like a chicken that has had its head chopped off. Hardloop ek agter my bokkie. I run after my young goat. Now, there are some vagaries of the Afrikaans idiom that I do not fully understand, and why it is you would call your beloved my young goat is one of those things that I don't understand. Anyway, apparently calling somebody a young goat is a sign of affection in some circles. So that's what it is, the bokkie. And when we used to do it in the Boma, we'd sing it with 5 or 6 different endings comprising a wide variety of musical genres. Tonight I will probably just do maybe 3. The traditional Afrikaans folk song, probably sort of Tennessee backwater or maybe swamplands backwater type of vibe, and then finally and so here it is. The Meisie sonder haar sokkies, which means the girl without her socks, a love song in Afrikaans. Was je binne in my bokkie, klop my jou hart, net sit op tokkie, ek het droom van 'n warm Kersfeesdag en 'n meisiekind sonder haar sokkies. Nes 'n bicycle sonder sy klokkie, nes 'n lollipop sonder sy stokkie, ek het droom van jou vir die sedingskerk en jou voettoet en jou mooi rooi rokkie. Waai wynkie waai, die dag kom verby, en môre kom daar 'n groot geluk, dan staan sy, hoor dan staan sy hier langs my. Hier langs my. Bokkie, ek verniet vir jou jokkie, of jy my lief het wie jy kokkie. Ek het droom van jou vir die sedingskerk en jou wittot en jou mooi rooi rokkie. Ja, bokkie met die bloeddoek op jou koppie, die klokkie in my hart loop nie stoppie. Hoof van aanser gek soos 'n pop wat blaar, want die verlange nooit toppie. Waai wynkie waai, die dag kom verby, en môre kom daar 'n groot geluk, dan staan sy, hoe dan staan sy hier langs my. January, February, March, hier langs my. Oor December, November, May. Today was a special day. I thought to myself, I must practice hard. I've got a concert tonight, so I must set up without delay. And as I was setting up, I thought to myself, you know, one thing I don't want is a voice that is scratchy. And so I'll take out some Badger Mountain wine and I'll drink that, and that will make sure that my voice doesn't sound like a donkey's brain. My wife came home after work. She says to me, "What are we going to have for dinner?" And I said to her, "Well, I don't know what's in the fridge." She said, "Well, there is none of that fish called crane." Was jy binne in my bokkie, klop my jou hart en sit op tokkie. Ek het droom van 'n warm Kersfeesdag en 'n meisiekind sonder haar sokkies. Vaai winkie vaai, die dag kom verby. En môre kom daar 'n groot geluk dan staan. Sy hoe dan staan, sy hier langs my. Blow, oh the wind must blow, because the day comes along. And tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow, there'll be a great big luck. It's gonna come blowing in through the swamp, carrying tumbleweed with it. A great big luck coming in on the wind. Oh yeah, the girl without her socks on, she gonna blow in on the wind as well. It'll be nice, hope she don't look like a ghost. Duncan again. And all together. Dan staan sy hier langs my. I apologize for that song. I thoroughly enjoyed performing it. Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone absolutely loved that.
Good. I'm very pleased. Here's to you, Duncan.
I mean, we got a lot of laughing, and there was a lot of laughter.
A little while back, thank you. A long time ago, actually, my father had an album of Joan Baez's, and the album was of her live in somewhere around 1965, I guess it must have been. And halfway through the show, she says, "I'm having a really good time tonight. I'm going to take off my shoes." And I always loved that. And so tonight, in her honor, I'm not wearing any shoes. In case you were wondering, which I'm sure you weren't. Okay, good.
Question, please.
Yes.
Speaking of shoes, Judy H wanted to know when we get to see your new colourful shoes.
My new colourful shoes. Judy H, I think I'll probably debut my new colourful shoes when I return to the bush, which will be on the 24th of this month.
Still getting so many compliments. Everyone absolutely loved that song.
Oh, good. I'm glad you all liked it. I hope I didn't offend anyone with it. And that was Duncan's great worry in the boma always.
Another question. James Rashad wants to know, what would you say was the most challenging song you've learned to play?
Oh, James, I suppose that kind of gets split into two, because some are challenging guitar-wise and not so much on the voice, and some are more challenging on the voice and not so much guitar-wise. I guess I would probably say that song that I sang at my wedding, called it's Sonnet 18, and I actually don't remember who wrote not the words, that was Shakespeare, the music to it. That was quite tricky to sing and play at the same time. And then a lot of Dave Matthews' stuff is initially very difficult to play because he sings at a totally different rhythm from what he's playing. And a good example, I'll give you an example, is Grey Street, which goes, oh, look at how she listens. Each day is nothing of what she thinks. And that kind of thing it took me a long time to get used to being able to separate the two. And if I'm learning one of his songs, it takes a long time again to kind of separate the timing of the hand and the voice. I can only imagine how difficult it is for a drummer who has to make all of his limbs move at different speeds and at different rhythms. Nice question, thank you. Right, the next one I need some words for. Now, this comes from U2's album, The Joshua Tree. I don't have a voice anything like Bono's. I can't play the guitar like Edge. We don't have a bass player. And, well, there's no drummer either. And so we're going to make use of the loop pedal.
We don't need to press the button.
Which button? No, that's for the other guitar. It's not this one. My wife has to do a bit of technical stuff this evening. She has to switch on the amp. Okay, so here we go. With or Without You. It's just one of the most beautiful songs ever written. I don't know for whom it was written. Maybe it was for no one, but I remember hearing it for the first time way back, when did it come out? 87, I think, and just being blown away by it. And so here it is, With or Without You by U2, and a loop pedal. I'm just going to turn something up on the loop pedal with my dexterous toe. Lucky I'm not wearing shoes, actually. Okay, here we go. The thorn twist in your side, and I wait for you. Sleight of hand and twist of fate, on a bed of nails she makes me wait, and I wait without you. With or without you, with or without you. Through the storm we reach the shore. You give it all, but I want more, and I'm waiting for you. With or without you. With or without you, oh, I can't live. With or without you. Give yourself away, and you give yourself away, and you give, and you give, and you give yourself away. My hands are tied, body bruised, she's got me with nothing to win and nothing left to lose. And you give yourself away, and you give yourself away, and you give, and you give, and you give yourself away, with or without you, with or without you. Oh, I can't live with or without you. With or without you, with or without you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, well, my wife liked that one. That's good.
Everyone loved that one. Listening, bravo.
Okay, now we're going to change guitars. Before you switch on, let me plug in. Let's do that before it starts playing something. Do that. Let me get the right plug. All right, you may now switch on the amplifier.
It's a lot of pressure.
Right, it's on. It's a very temperamental amplifier, so whether it will work or not is anyone's guess. We'll just give it a second to warm itself up. Oh dear, that's a disaster. Hang on 1 second. The program I was going to use to play the backing track has just crashed. Stand by 1 moment.
Do you want to answer a question? Or
Yes, give me a question.
Richard says, did you learn to speak Zulu at school or did you learn it in the bush?
Richard, I learned to speak Zulu at school, sort of. I did music for, not music, well, music too, but Zulu for matric, which was the kind of final year student. It's our final year at high school, and I was one of 2 white guys who did that. I remain convinced it was the single best decision I've made in my life until I asked my wife to marry me. See what I did there? And I couldn't really speak when I came out of school. You don't learn conversational Zulu. And I just practiced, I subjected a lot of unfortunate, unsuspecting black people in this country to horrific Zulu and really bad grammar, and they were universally helpful, even if they weren't native Zulu speakers. Most South African black people can speak Zulu of one form or another, and wow, the smiles on people's faces when I made the attempt to practice it with them, although it was really bad, was just great. And it's using that basis that I learnt Shangaan down in the Lowveld with the help of a chap called Sandros Sihlangu, who used to sit with me before tea every day on the Londolozi deck, and I'd have a book out, and I'd write down phrases, and I quickly figured that the structure is very similar to Zulu, and Sandros helped me to learn like that. So thank you for that question. Okay. Yes, it seems to be working. All right, the next song. Let me just fiddle with this quickly. No, don't start. You see, it just starts. Okay, well, I think we're good. This song, I don't know how my wife feels about this song. She's very silent about it, which makes me think it's not her favorite. I really like it, though. This is called The Geckos, the Bees, the Earth, and Me. Now, my wife hates geckos, of course.
It's no owls.
It's not owls. Okay. And I wrote it around about this time of year, probably a month or so later, 4 years ago or so. And the point of it, I'm just going to get some words. It's all about that incredible time down in the Lowveld when there is no rain and it's dry and it's hot, and you begin to think, will there ever be rain again? And that's certainly how it feels, sort of October, November time. And I just imagined this little gecko, I love geckos, sitting underneath a log. Well, you'll hear that in the song. And stand up, please. 1 second. Oh dear. This is really very unprofessional. There we are. Okay. Stay there. And I imagined him sitting there watching some stingless mapani bees, which I also love, and all of them just kind of looking out and thinking, is it ever going to rain again? Which is how all of us who live down there, or who have lived down there, feel around about sort of October time. And then finally, that first storm comes. And it happens throughout southern Africa. Not so much in East Africa, where it rains at different times of the year, and you don't have this great big build-up of a dry period. But in the Kalahari, here in the Bushveld, not so much in the Cape part of South Africa or the coastal regions, but inland and up into the Kalahari and the Brachystegia woodlands up in Zimbabwe, you have this tremendous build-up of heat, and then the air gets thick, and it looks like it's going to rain, and then it just doesn't rain, and then eventually it breaks. So that's what this song is about. It's called The Geckos, the Bees, the Earth, and Me. Gecko waiting for the rain 'neath the shady fallen log, watching bees in a knot above, lethargic, slow and tired. He breathes the panting of the land. A single cloud forms overhead, it's burned before it lives. Turns his eye to the dry, cracked mud where the bones of catfish bleach. He tastes the heat of summer's wrath. The afternoon drips slowly by, the harsh light softens with the dusk. The gecko steps into the twilight, hunting for the stars. Oh, I feel the dry taste of the sand, I hear the cry of the grass. The smell of rot is all around, sadness moves with dust. In the heat haze of the sky, a vulture scans for death. This is the way it's always been. I have no fear or anger. I have no fear or anger. in ginger grey, the gecko home to rest a while, but sleep is fitful through the day. The taste of hope hangs on the breeze. He feels the earth begin to sing. The afternoon falls, the gecko smiles in the coolth of his hidden home. The bees are floating around in circles, the air is close and thick. They taste water on the wind. The angry sky is churning black, the first drops puff the dusty ground. The gecko, the bees, the earth and me, we're laughing in the rain. I feel the warm taste of the sky, I hear the laugh in the grass, the smell of new life all around, promise in the gun-grey sky. In the coolness of the storm, an eagle swoops before the wind. This is the way it's always been. I have no fear or anger, I have no fear or anger. She's clapping in circles, circular claps.
I love that, despite the geckos.
You like it despite the geckos? Well, that's very kind. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Right. Has anyone asked for an encore?
Obviously.
Oh, they have. What a relief.
It's expected now. We should actually have an encore after an encore now.
Yes, we probably should. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Brian wants to know, what was your most favourite song to write and perform?
They're two different things. My favourite song to perform that I wrote is probably, it's probably Catch the Falling Light. And I think the favourite one that I've written, I think the one that is most musically satisfying is one called The Deep Sea, which I'll play next week. Or, what's this one called? I've forgotten what it's called. Crying in the Sun. Crying in the Sun. I enjoyed both of those very much. Thank you for those questions. You can find these songs on SoundCloud or on my website if you would like to go and listen to them. It doesn't cost you anything.
I told everyone we were ordering pizza for dinner. Christine wants to know, how was the pizza in Joburg?
Oh, on Christine, the pizza in Johannesburg is very variable standard. One can never be guaranteed of a standard of pizza. Where are we getting our pizza from? No, we mustn't say it because, maybe they'll sponsor us pizza next week.
Rachel says, what about a Johnny Clegg song for the encore?
No. For the finale, we're going to be doing a repeat.
A repeat?
Not of this, of Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. I did a little bit of adjusting to the recording. I don't feel like I did it justice the first time round. It's such a popular song. I'm sure no one will mind. Does everyone mind, other than you, my wife?
No.
Not. Okay, good. Right, well, here we go. Comfortably Numb with orchestra. It's playing. Here we go. Is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Come on now, I hear you feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again. Relax, I need some information first. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon. You're only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you would not understand. This is not how I am. And I have become comfortably numb. Just a little pinprick, there'll be no more high, but you may feel a little sick. Can you stand up? I do believe it's working. Good. That'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go. There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon. You're only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child is grown, the dream is gone. And I have become comfortably numb. Thank you so much. My wife just threw a virtual brassiere at me, which is a great compliment indeed.
What about doing the real one with that, but maybe it would be inappropriate?
Yes, no, not the real one. No, people might take offense. You know how easily people take offense these days.
Well, not everyone that's watching.
No, very few people that are watching.
Everyone said they love.
Oh, it's playing again. Sorry. Here we are. Okay, everybody. That's going to be it. No questions?
So I'm sorry if I said his name wrong. Mukbang said, did you have any special guitar teachers?
Oh, Mukban, did I have any special guitar teachers? Yes, I did. I had 2. Well, I only have had 3 guitar teachers. The first chap went into business very sadly. He was a wonderful classical guitarist, but in South Africa, if you want to get hungry very quickly, being a professional musician is a very good way to get hungry fast. So he gave up being a classical guitarist and went into business. I think he actually lives in Australia now. His name was Stephen Sher. The next one, we didn't have a great relationship. Anyway, things went downhill until I was given to a chap called Fritz Bus, who I'm pretty sure must be a war indeed some time back. I mean, he was no youngster when I was learning with him almost 30 years ago, so 25 years ago. He must have been in his 70s then, so maybe he's 95 and still kicking around. Anyway, Fritz Bus was given the task of getting me through. I was well behind on my practical stuff. I only started playing the guitar when I was 13, and I decided I wanted to do it at school all the way to the end of school as a subject. And now everybody else had been playing the instrument since they were 6 or 7, and Fritz was given the task of getting me to the requisite standard in record time. And bless him, he managed. I didn't do magnificently well in my practical, but I did fine, and it was only through his expert tutelage that I managed it. Fritz Bus, wherever you are, cheers.
Everyone is saying thank you so much. It was fantastic.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed this. I always do enjoy them very much, and I suppose I'll see you this time next week. Yes? Good. Au revoir.